welcome friends. Out in the woods again. Just had to get outside. It's a bit of a test, a bit of a personal test for myself. I'm sort of in the middle of a cold at the moment, or virus, whatever you want to call it. There's plenty in the UK at the moment who have going through the same sort of thing. So I thought, I did plan on doing an overnighter tonight, but the way I'm feeling, nah, I don't really want to make it a lot worse. But it's no excuse to just go out for the afternoon, practice some skills and see how we get on. I've just got just a little bag here and I'm collecting some birch bark en route, okay? There's not much of it here, but the last time I was there was a big down birch, so I'm going to take a lot from that. There's plenty to go around. So yeah, let's press on. Yeah, look, you see the squirrels have been busy. They're masters, they are. They always get to them before we do. And some of the newcomers who probably aren't aware, they belong to the hazel tree, i.e. hazelnuts. So our dear little fairy friends have been robbing the nuts before we get a chance. You've really got to get up early to catch these little monkeys. It's been a long time since I've been here, so I'm hoping that it's not been turned into a rubbish tip by some unruly teenagers. So we're going to be witnessing this together, guys. All live, I haven't been here yet. I'm just literally walking in. Wow, it's looking good. It's looking good. There's some evidence of a fire there with a couple of pointy sticks. Where are we? There. As yet, this is different. Someone's been practicing a bit of bushcraft. Maybe a small fence. I don't know why they'd want to put it there. Who knows? But yeah, we're not alone. Right, we're here. All seems good. Got quite a few bits of birch bark, which is always nice. Now we got some light showers at the moment, but it's nothing. I haven't got any waterproofs on, just me wool cardigan. So I think I'm going to leave the shelter for now. If it gets heavy, then I'll put the shelter up. It's not going to take long to put the shelter up, but my immediate task is to get some firewood, because I've got two cool items to show you guys. One of them is a new knife that came yesterday, which I'm itching to try out and show you guys, and also a knife sharpener for the field. I can't wait to get playing with that. It's going to be cool. I really can't wait. So let's get some firewood. Well, what I've got out today is these are little bin liners for small bins. We got tons of them at work, so they don't cost nothing. They're small and lightweight. It's ideal for just scavenging some materials. As I say, we just peeled off loads of birch bark that we found en route. I might try and get a bit more, because there's another tree just around the corner right there. So that's what I've been using to carry that in. It's just to keep some of the rain off as we're going along. Right, the small little day sack that I'm using today is by Bushcraft. Love this company, been using it for years, and to be honest, I don't really fancy trying anything else. They're a spot on company, fantastic. Now this is one of the side rocket pouches you can get separately. And what I like about this is it's got a little extra securing clip there, okay, to keep all the elements out. As some of you have watched my channel before, I'm not really a fan of having zips exposed outside, okay? I always fancy the zips to be waterproof, lined or covered, none of its exposed ones. This is an exception to the rule, obviously just for today's purposes. The knife I've got in there is just too big, okay? And I didn't really fancy strapping it to the side there. So, we're gonna get the contents of this little Dasek out to see what we've got. Okay. I love that little clip there, that's awesome. And I always put sniper tape on anything visible that's shiny, okay? Just keeps the low level issue sorted out. First thing I always hope to put on the top of my bag is a shelter sheet, okay? Now this is a basher or a tarp, whatever you want to call it. Please don't ask me about where to get these from. I found it on eBay a few years ago and I've tried a few times to try and find them again and just can't, because people have asked me, okay? It's a very small, lightweight, ripstop shelter in effect, okay? And it's that small, it actually fits in the side of your trouser pocket with ease. And in there I've just got 2 or 3 hanks of paracord. 1 litre of water, carried in one of the best water bottles you can get in the world, bomb-proof, been made since 1958, and they still continue to make them for a good reason, okay? They're bomb-proof. Awesome. First out of the bat is the knife in question, my parang. Now, this only came yesterday and this is the first time I've used it, okay? Now, in fairness, I did use it as a cut test inside, and the edge is good. It's not razor sharp to cut cigarette papers with, so what's advisable is to strop it yourself, okay? Here is said tool. As you can see, it's totally traditional and handmade, alright? These aren't mass-produced, made in China things. These are made with love, okay? So we're going to be putting that through its paces, fire and food prep, okay? Second item, as I said earlier, is a field sharpener. Now I've been after something for quite a while now as an all-in-one to sharpen my blades, okay? Because if you're using them for heavy use for extended periods, the edge will get dull, okay? So it's important to keep it sharp. Now what you don't want is to carry loads of different things that are big, bulky and heavy. This is the only one I can find at the moment which has so much stuff on there but for a small size, okay? It's got coarse diamonds, fine diamonds, it's got ceramics, it's got a leather strop, and it's also got the smaller versions of ceramics, so you can do fish hooks and serrations as well. And it's even got an angle guide on the side, so you can set it at 20 degrees and keep that same constant edge. So we're looking forward to trying that, okay? Some of my guys who have watched from the beginning got the idea from Scott over at Wessex Blades. They've been using it on and off for quite a few years now, and it's blimmin' foolproof, it really is. It's a tin of metal polish wadding, okay? All I've done with this is I'll put strips of Ranger band, which is bicycle inner tube, as most of you know, around it to aid with the firelighting. And I've just stuffed my fire striker in there. That's why I like my fire. It's a Soldier 2.0 and it comes with its own striker, so I haven't got to mess your blade up, and it's got a whistle in there. And I really do actively encourage anyone coming out into the woodlands, even if it's just a small coppice or the middle of nowhere wilderness, always take a whistle with you, okay? You don't have to spend a lot of money, you can get them for £1 or $1, alright? Make sure you've got a whistle, very important. Now, all we've got is if I can try and get it open. Let's take that out there. You've got a signalling aid straight away and a little pot. Also you can use that to boil water if you have to. And inside is loads of wadding. Now you can tear that off, put a spark in it and it will go up big time. You'll see later on in the video. And it really does work, okay? And it's pretty much watertight in there as well. So that's all good. Always take a bag, a carrier bag for gash, rubbish, take it home with you, okay? Chopping board. Now this is a great idea, I really like this. This was from a pound store, it only cost £1, funny enough. And it's so small and lightweight for dealing with game preparation. Pheasants and pigeons are brilliant on this, because it's just the right size, okay? And the thickness, it's not really thin. Do protect it, because it will break if you misuse it, okay? So look after it. You can pick any colour you like. I just chose green because I don't really like letting everyone know where I am. we're using traditional today. We're going out with this hand carved spork by a really cool friend, John, Moleskin Joe. Now, some of you guys saw the overnighter with MTP and friends on one of my videos, and John, bless him, he made a few of these and gave them all to us. We had one each, and the weird thing is they all looked exactly the same. So hats off to you, mate. We're going to be using that, and kindly given to me by another good friend, Dell, Dirty Room Knives, who is now Redpath Knife and Tool, Old Bay. Now I first saw this, Zed Outdoors had some. I think he shared a picture of it on Instagram, and I was just instantly intrigued by the graphics, the image. Okay, I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what it's like. And then before I knew it, you know, a few days later, Dale sent me some, and I tell you what, it's great. It's very salty, so you don't use a lot of it, and it's predominantly celery, but there is other spice in there. And for an all-in-one, it really is good. Okay, I've been using my own spice mix for ages now, and it's nice to try something different. Okay, very nice. And we're using the Pocket Boy Silky Saw. These are also good for using the edge on there with your ferro rods. Okay, it's amazing at that, and one of the best saws you can get on the market. They really are. This happens to be straight out of my little survival pouch, which I keep in the vehicle at all times. I used it the other day at work, just testing a few things out of it, and still really love it. If you're sawing logs and stuff near the floor, you can just pull it back so it protects your hands. Okay, you haven't got to be doing this and smash your hand up. So very sturdy, well made, and keeps razor sharp for a hell of a long time. So we're going to be using that for our fire prep. A bit of bump for battle knife. We're going to see if we can remember to read that out later on. And something I haven't used for a long time is a zebra billy pot. Now, when I first got into bushcraft, as it were, everyone uses these, and I thought they're okay, but I just prefer my Crusader mug, because you don't need, this is a massive size. Okay, you can do a stew in there and it'll do 2 people easily. So for being on your own all the time out in the woods, I thought it was too big, and this is the smallest one they do. So for communal stuff, if you're doing like big campfires and stuff with lots of cooking, they really are excellent. But for me, on the whole, I just never really used it. So I thought, okay, we're going to revisit it today. So tea tree wipes, multifunctional of course. We're dealing with poultry, etc., and it's good advisable to keep your hands nice and clean. All right. Just got basic ingredients for the stew. That's all it is. We've got a carrot, we've got a small onion, got a spud, and we've got a chicken breast wrapped up individually in its bag, and we've got organic chicken stock and a bit of corn flour. Yes, it's corn flour. Stop laughing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Something nice and simple, okay? Because to be honest, MREs and rations are good, but it's nice to get away from it now and again, okay? Right. Excuse me. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to get to work now to get some firewood, is take the shemag off. Now, shemags are brilliant. I don't wear them that often, but when I do, I really do appreciate them. All it is it's just tied in a double knot on the back. Now, there's plenty of videos on how to do this. All you got to do, he says, is you open it up. It's a big square, right? And you get opposing corners, 45 degrees. And all you do is you just make one big triangle, okay? Once you've got the triangle like this, what you do, you just put it around yourself and tie a big double knot in the back, and that's it. It's nice and simple, okay? It just stops the chill getting to your neck, and if it's really cold and windy, you know, it keeps the heat in as well. So because we're working, we're going to take some of this off. This jumper is, I'm going to sweat like a pig, so I'm going to keep it open to start with. And it's the same thing, if you feel yourself getting really hot, just remove items of clothing. The only key thing to remember, which I find really helps, is core body temperature, okay? All you got to do is make sure your body temperature is constant. That's it. If If you feel yourself getting hot, take clothing off. If you're ever getting cold, put clothing on, light a fire, etc. It's simple. So okay then, let's go and find some dead trees and get some firewood. Right, here's another good tip. Always remember to carry your long life to the back side of you, okay? Don't have it around the front because you've got some nasty big main arteries there. Keep it out the back, out of the way, okay? Because what you don't want to do is cut yourself. And believe you me, it's that easy, okay? Wow, these squirrels really have been busy. There's evidence of their use everywhere, and I mean everywhere. You can see the forest floor, all of the light coloured shells of the hazelnut just scattered everywhere. They have been well busy. Wow, so at least I know there's plenty of squirrels in these woods, which is encouraging. There's either plenty or one big fat one. Right, I had this bit of wood stashed under this holly tree for about 18 months now, and it's pretty much dry. Okay, so we're just going to make use of the A-frame bed to hold it in place while we cut it off. It just makes it so much more convenient and easy to do. Obviously this piece is getting shorter and shorter, so it's too short to go in between the sides, so just use what you can. Yeah, I've just found this on the top and it seems to be fine for holding it in place while you saw through it. Well, that's one way to keep warm, is cutting logs. So we just zipped them down to just the right size really. We don't want anything too big, okay? It's only to make a stew, right? So that's all done. We're going to find some smaller stuff to go to the second stage after the tinder's gone up, okay? Well, another thing I like to do is if I find a downed tree and I drag it over, I just use what I need, okay? And the stuff left behind I just keep nearby and keep it hung up in the trees, okay? So when you do need something again, rather than looking everywhere, you've always got a store or a stash of it, okay? It's important to keep it hung up in the air because it will just snap off nice and easy and clean, right? What you don't want is it laying on the ground like that because stuff will just rot. I don't mean to teach you to suck eggs because some of the guys watching this have never done this before, so I'm just trying to sort of pass on as much as I can really. So I apologise if you're hearing it all over again. So yep, so basically all of my small stuff is all hung up dry, nice and local and ready. Right, all we've got to do now is just make sure the floor is nice and clear. Alright, it's important that you do this, don't just put it down onto the leaves and twigs, etc. Now I've had fires here before, so I know that there's no tree roots of any significance underneath what I'm scouring here, okay? Really do get as much as you can out of the way and just leave it all around the outside. So what happens is after the fire's done, it's been put out and it is cold, you can pick it up with your hands, then you can move everything back into the middle again, cover it over. Okay, found an old bit of oak we're going to be using to batten with, okay? It just needs cleaning up, so this is the first time this is going to be used. This hasn't got a hand lanyard, okay? So please use caution when using something like this, okay? Now most of the work you're going to be using for detail stuff is obviously you're going to be closer to the blade. The further back you go for more power, that's about as far as back as you're going to need to go for big heavy chops. The reason it's big at the end is for a reason. You've got maximum control and it does the best it can to stop your hand sliding off the end, okay? So as long as you've got a tight grip, in theory you should be okay. But we're still going to be using caution, okay? I think I might keep that. Yeah, I like that, that's nice and sharp. I think I might keep that wire on there actually. I could use that for me the zebra pot. So let me see. Just trying to think where I can hold it. Yeah, about there I do. Just going to tidy off this area because my hands are going to be here, okay? So I'm breaking my rule today, I'm not wearing gloves. So we'll see how we get on. I'm not going to be doing a lot of fire prep, so it's not going to be too killer, okay? Yeah, I think we're good. No splinters there. So, let's get started. Well, I can't believe this. We're just going to carry on with the video, and the camera's just failed. Absolutely useless. I can't record anything. I've tried changing the batteries, changing the SD card, tried the zoom, I tried everything. It's just kaput. So, an end of an era, guys. The JVC is dead. I mean, the touchscreen failed about, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I guess. And I've just been putting up with doing without a lot of the features because I can't access anything on the screen. So I can't really film anything one-handed on the phone in shop. This phone hasn't got a tripod attachment or nothing. I've tried all sorts of leaning it up against things and it just falls over. Can't get anything in shot. So we'll see how we get on. Right, I couldn't film this really because I need two hands. I've basically put the battering stick. This stick's turning into be really cool actually. As you see, we've got the Y there, which is going to be used for the cooking pot, the zebra pot. I've shaved around to make a handle so I don't get splinters. That's the area that's been contacting the knife whilst battening. To make multi-use out of it, I've put a point on the end, made with the blade there. It's just whizzed through. As you can see, there's just chippings everywhere, so it's spot on. So what I'm going to plan on doing, I've got my fire scrape, if that's a term. I'm going to fashion it into the ground at an angle to hang the pot from. But I'm just going to tie paracord. I'm going to make a notch in the top, put paracord around that, and suspend it from the bed. And obviously I can use a pulley system really. I can just pull it up or down to go to the heat. So we'll see how that works. Again, sorry guys, I had a decision to make whether I just call it a day or just cracked on to see how it turned out with this sort of mobile phone. So I do apologise, but it is what it is. Never say die. It's a bit of a sickness, but there you go. Well, that was interesting. I just went home to get my waterproof camera, which is what this is being recorded on now. So the sounds might be a bit different because it's a waterproof microphone inside, okay? So the sound's going to be different. So apologies for all the interruptions so far. It's unlike me, but you know, it's happened. My first JVC camera has finally failed. Whether it's worth repairing or not, I very much doubt it. It's been on its last legs for over a year now, and I've don't know how long I've got away with it for the length of time what I did. So I'm going to be stuck with this camera. There isn't no external microphone attachment to this, so the sound is what it is. It's not too bad when I'm close to the camera, but when I'm more than 6 feet away I have to really shout to be heard. But obviously you don't really want to do that in the woods. So There it is what it is. Enough flannel, let's get back on with what we was doing before. Right, there's the timber that's just been all battened with the parang, and it's a joy to use that tool actually. For battening stuff, man, it's awesome. It really does fly through it all. I've really been whacking the shit out of it too, which is good. Apologies, as I say, for not filming it all. I've done the best I could with my mobile phone, but it is such a pain in the arse with that silly little thing. I don't know how some of you guys manage it without a tripod, you know what I mean? So we've got all of the wood split ready. I just started to do the fire lay when I made the decision to fly off home. So we're going to crack on with that now and get the fire going. As soon as that's on the go, we can prep the food and get the stew on the go. Right, the fire lay itself, underneath that I've put some pieces of bark which come off during battening. That's going to sort of keep it off the ground, okay? We've got some rotten pieces which are dry, split. That's the base. On top of that, we've got a good handful of birch bark. We've got some grated twigs, small. Next stage, some more birch bark. Loads of split wood there, and wood there, but they're split into bigger pieces. They're going to be the fuel to get the embers going, okay? So all we've got to do now is to use our friend, the Brasso wadding. So I don't think I'm going to need to use the Bushcraft tube actually. Right. I don't know if that's coming in clear. There you go. That's what it actually looks like. No, you won't believe. You're only going to need that much. You don't even need that much, to be honest, but for TV, we always do a little bit more just in case, alright? Put the lid on because we don't want it evaporating, because that's very flammable in there, right? So, right, what we're going to do is just to fluff it up. Just makes it a lot easier, okay? Same principle as the cotton wool. Get it nice and fluffed. Now in theory, when this catches, a lot of this will actually curl on itself. That's all it takes. As you can see, that's proper flammable stuff. It gives you plenty of time to get your act together, okay? A nice smell of Brasso as well. The metal polish from years ago. Good stuff. So we're just going to let that take now and gradually feed it. Well, there's enough heat in there, and how I try to stack it is do like you do in Jenga, but leave gaps all around it, okay, so the air can get in there. It just makes it so easy to deal with, okay. What you don't want to do is make the temptation of absolutely smothering it, just chucking so much on there where there's no air gaps and it just smokes and goes out. That's gradually going to take now. I shouldn't really have to touch it for at least 10 minutes. And once we've got the base established, we can put the pot on. Right, okay, that's all looking after itself now. We're not too far away, so we're good to keep an eye on it. First thing we're going to do, because we've been chopping up all sorts, just going to quickly give the blade a wipe down, okay? We don't want any nasties getting into your food. That's another good thing for these tea tree wipes, okay? Antibacterial, they will do almost anything for you, okay? I use it to wash with. They're good. So make sure the blade's nice and clean, alright? We don't want any mishaps. Now we're going to leave the chicken till last, alright, for obvious reasons. We don't want to be going near that first. So we take everything out of the pot. Nice and clean, right. I'm not really fussed about taking the skin off of the carrots, okay? We're just going to go for it. That's an interesting sound. So another thing about these blades, they've got a good lever action. You go through it. It's not a straight blade, it's got a nice curve on it. Got to be careful with the end bit, obviously. And the potato as well. I'm not really fussed about skin. It's all goodness in my book, so I think them sort of sizes would be good. Also, when you're doing things like that, just try and stay mindful of the size of the chunks you're cutting and how long it takes to cook, okay? So make sure, don't cut it all the same size, that's basically what I'm trying to say. Now obviously doing something like this, you've got to be very, very careful, because it's not like what you've got back at home, okay, where the blades are nice and thin and nice and sharp. This is quite a stocky blade because its primary purpose is to chop, okay. So when you're doing stuff like this, just take your time. Very dangerous, because if you fly through this and you're not concentrating, you will cut yourself very, very easily, okay. And for the chick. Now what I quite like about these is you can buy chicken breasts now which come individually shrink wrapped, which is brilliant because it just saves a lot of time and effort. I mean, if you haven't got a vacuum sealer, you know, to have that option available is spot on, really good. We'll sort that out in a minute. Yeah, it is cool to have one tool to do it all, okay? The amount of times I've had people have a go at me when I do certain videos, you should have used an axe to do that, you should have used a saw to do that. I'll tell you what, bollocks, you do what you want to do and I'll do what I want to do. How about that? Okay, so we got the stew base in there already, all sorted. Right, that's good, we're all good. Now before we carry on, clean up time, okay? Obviously when you're dealing with poultry, you do have to pay attention. Most people don't use poultry out in the field because of that reason. Cow, beef is probably the safest option, okay? So make sure everything is clean. I mean, obviously if you haven't got access to anything like this to help you, you just have to use what's around you, okay? You can boil sterilised water, you can use moss with antiseptic to scrub it clean. There's various things you can use. I'm not going to go on about it because there's a lot of natural items you can use, okay? So we're just going to wipe off most of it. It's not going to be proper sterile, but it would be a lot better if this wasn't done. So we put that safe. Obviously the purpose for all these is the idea that water is precious, okay? I'm going to try and do without it. And it does make you think, because we tend to use water all the time, okay? So most of that is off now. It's not sterile, but it's good enough. So we can put that aside now, it's no longer needed. Stock pot. Now these organic ones are great, there's no MSG or rubbish in there, alright, so we've got some good food today. Just makes it easier just to break it up. Oh, that smells lovely. Concentrated chicken skin, that smells gorgeous. Right, so all the little bits are in there. All good. We're going to be putting the powder in at the end, as is the Old Bay, okay? Next important ingredient, obviously, aqua. Chuck some water in there. Now I'm going to put quite a lot in there. It's not needed, but what will happen is it will reduce. As it reduces, it makes it easier for the sauce to thicken. Okay, so we're going to be cooking this for quite a while. Well, because the wood's a bit damp, these are great. Just get plenty of oxygen in there. That's all you need to do. You've got the fuel, you've got the heat, all you need is oxygen. That's the last thing you need to get the flames up and running. Periodically you need to do this until the timber is dry enough to actually burn without aid. Well, the fire is pretty much looking after itself now. That's the beauty of stews. You can tend to just leave them for a long time and then just periodically give it a stir every once in a while. Okay, ideal you can just leave it alone. So while that's going, we're going to be having a look at this for the first time. I was so intrigued to see what this is all about. So here it is, my trusted blade. Been EDCing this for so long. Okay. I fell into the trap like some of us do, not all of us but some of us do. I made the angle of the grind far too steep. Okay. Now this is Oz 8 still. It's relatively tough for the money you get, but as I said, I went wrong by making the grind on the edge far too steep. What's happened, I just used it for everyday use and it's chipped all the way along, as you can see. Lessons learnt, okay? No limitations of steel. Oz 8's good, but only limited. Okay, so this sort of thing was going to come in very, very handy. Now, one thing I don't like about these sort of things is the bloody packaging. And I'm getting smoked out as well, so this is the joys of filming, people. Let's see how I'm going to undo this without destroying the packaging. I don't think I can. Nope. Gonna have to go through it. I love it when the wind changes direction, don't you? Sorry about that. But yeah, the guided field sharpener. Built-in angle guides. And here it is. Gives you an idea of the size in your hand. Awesome. Now, guessing, I haven't read up on this, but I'm guessing that you've got your coarse diamond, you've got your guides there. So what you do is you just put it onto the guide and it just keeps the angle as you go along. You've got your ceramic, again with guides on here. You put it on there and you glide the blade along. So that's cool, I do like that. And you've got a finer diamond on that side. And to top it all off, most of us know, once you've gone through that process, it's the strop. Now these hasn't got guides in there, you don't really need it, but you just go along like this, the opposite way, okay? And if you are doing serrations, you've got a handy little one, ceramic edge there, to doing your serrations and your fish hooks, okay? The barb gets sharpened up lovely on that. And incidentally, I don't know if you can see this because it's too dark, that little turning device. Can you see? So you've got C, fish hooks, and fine. So I guess the C is coarse, okay? So yeah, I love that idea, you can turn that around. Awesome.
So, without further ado, well, check it out. Stew's going to be good. I'll put a sort of thermos in there. Amazing. Okay, don't know if you can see this. This is tough. Right, we're losing light too, so everything's being tested here. So we got to start off the course because the edge is screwed. It's got chips all over. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's so dark out here. They are screwed. Okay, so, and also I'm finding out as I go along, you've got a thumb piece there so you can hold it. Put it on the ankle. 20 degrees is good. Yeah, it's going to take a while because I've got one really deep cut out of the edge. But I'll tell you what, these guides are great. And also, if you do get carried away and come up, that's going to stop. You're not going to slice up, okay? Ooh. Bloody flies making me jump. Okay, so as we do it, you're just pulling the length of the blade towards it, okay? I don't know if that's coming in. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, these guides are really good. Excellent idea. I mean, you can do this freehand, but it does take a lot of practice. It really does. I'm just going to use my thumb to run along to find it. I'll tell you what, it's not taking. I think we're nearly there. There's a few little nicks on there, so we're going to concentrate and get them sorted out first. So I'm so glad that wood's finally dried out and caught fire. There's nothing worse than keeping an eye on a fire all the time when you've got other things to do. Good drills. Yeah, we're nearly there. This is pretty good. Right. Yep, it's quite a stubborn chip on there. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this real time. I'm not going to edit it out. It's just going to be a long video, okay? I don't want to fancy edit all this. We want to see all of this in its entirety. Obviously, when you're pulling a knife towards you, please be careful, okay? Do not rush. And I say, these little safety ramps really do come to their own doing this. It really does. Yep, that edge is now flat. All of those little nicks have gone. So we've got a nice straight edge to work with. So we're going to turn her over. Again, you've got a thumb indentation there. You don't need any oil, any water to do this. Okay. I mean, you might feel you need to put a bit of water in there. I don't think you do as a rule with diamonds. With whetstones, obviously you do. But I think we're doing good. I'm trying to keep one eye on the fire, so this is a good test. Incidentally, the Tanto tip, this seems pretty good. I'm just gonna, that's got no nicks in it, so I'm just going to, that's about it. We're good with that, that's pretty good as it is. Do you know what? That's starting to get sharp already. That is pretty neat. So, let me familiarise myself with this. I'm going to start off with the coarse, I think, on the ceramic. Again, you can hold it this way. This is a great design, man. And again, you got like the little sharpening ramps there to guide you. The edges going through the process of slowly getting sharp. I'll tell you what, I'm so impressed with this, I can't believe. It's actually sharpening before my eyes. We're going to go past the fish hook and put it onto fine now. Excuse the noise, but we've got all sorts falling down. It is autumn here in the UK at last. I do love autumn. One of my favourite times of the year, actually. Can you see the colour of that now? Now all that is that's just leaving the steel from the knife on there, okay? Now, blowing out. This is really working. Super impressed. Now, I'm just going to keep that flat on there now, and I'm going to hold it on this edge. I'm just going to strop it on the lever. I've got no paste with me, no compound. I'm just using the lever as you would use it straight from the box, okay? Wow. And if any of you got problems finding 20 degrees, my advice is you go along slowly. As you go along, you turn in the angle of the blade like this. Do it very slowly and very gently, not hard, and eventually it will bite. That is the angle that you keep it on to sharpen, okay? So you go along slowly, slowly, and that's it. It's actually going to bite right there. So you keep it at that angle, and you just do it. And you do from memory on the other side. Now this is taking off some steel. You can see it, the steel coming off onto the strop. Wow. Wow. Now the only paper I've got is from that parang to test this. Now you all saw how knackered this was. I don't know if it's too dark. Let's go outside. That's a bit better, isn't it? Cool. Now, can you see that? All of those little chips have all gone. Every last one of them. And you've got the correct, good working edge of 20 degrees in it now, rather than stupid degrees, what I put on there myself. Just pissing around, cutting up paper, but when you're out in the field, you're on a different angle for work use. But that has really done it. Okay, right, let's go back in there, unedited. Yeah, cool. Now, will it cut paper for the first time after that damage? Like a boss. Look at that. I'm not even putting any pressure on that. That's a winner. I had to test it. I've been thinking about something to cover everything out in the field, and this thing that I got, I ordered it a while ago, and I'll tell you what, that's a definite thumbs up. That now lives in my bug out bag. There she is. Just get rid of all the bugs. A lot of bugs live underneath bark, okay? Right, now we've got our new tool back again. We're going to be using the chest lever grip, so you don't hold the knife that way, you turn it the other way. We want to keep this flat so I can hook the lid off, okay? So what we do is you put it into your chest and you can lever like this. Use your arm, pull it back like this, and it's so easy to remove the material, okay? Minimal effort. In fact, most knife makers, when they get a new knife, the first thing they try out is the chest lever. Awesome. Yeah. So hopefully we should be able to scoop the lid off. Right, hopefully. Yeah. Oh baby, look at that. It's just what we need. And now, because this has been sterilised, burnt off, give this a little stir up. Well, I used this half split log to hold the top, because this is a bit wobbly, okay. Once I was holding that, I was using the stick to give it a nice stir and work just a treat. I put some more water in there because I felt like it needed it. I'm taking the lid off now, so that's going to reduce a lot of that liquid, okay. Probably give it, in fairness, about 15 minutes, and then add the corn flour to thicken it, and then the Old Bay spice from Dow to go in at the end. But yeah, so far it's going fine, all apart from the camera mishaps, but that's technology, okay. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to rely on technology, if I can help it. So there you go. Right, while the stew's simmering down now, we're going to be checking out this parang again. Now, I don't know about you, but if you look at the work that's gone into making that, as I say, this is astonishing to me, because this is all made by hand, okay. This isn't water jet, this isn't done in a factory, this isn't mass produced in China. This is all done by hand. I believe this wood is from Croatia, this hardwood. And, you know, it's up to you if you want to treat it with oil, etc. Personally, I'm just going to leave it as it is. The construction on the brass collar is very nice, and it's epoxied into the end. And as I said, I was battening that bigger piece, and there was no rigidity at all. This was really holding up to the task. As you can see, straight as a die. It's all hammered by hand, as I keep saying. And there it is. Well chuffed. Now, I can't remember whose video I saw now, where I saw this being used, but as soon as I saw it, I just had to order one. And after shopping around, the one place I could find, which was the cheapest, which is a complete surprise, was by a guy called Alpha Bushcraft, is the website, and it's the cheapest one I can find, okay? So if you want, I'll put a link underneath the video from where I got this, and mate, honestly, I couldn't find one cheaper. As you can see, you do have to look after it. I've been out here for a while and it's starting to get rust on there, okay? So make sure that you oil it, very important. And yeah, that is, you can shave your arm with that now. Very, very capable bit of kit, that. And you know, this design, parang's been used for God knows how long in the Far East. You know, most people actually have one of these. It's a classic design, a bit like the cookery. It's been around for a long time, and mate, very multi-use. I mean, food prep as well. I mean, as you can see earlier on when I was chopping through stuff, you can also, what I quite like about this is you see the sweep on the back where it ends up there, that rounded piece. Your fingers can go over it nice and easy like that, and you hold it. Okay, so all you do is you're holding it like this way. It's hard to and you can skin easy with it. Okay, it becomes a very, very usable edge for very detailed stuff. So just because it's big doesn't mean to say you can't do small things. Okay, as you see, most of the stuff in the Far East, they all use great big choppers and tools, and they just use one tool for everything, and that's what I like. You know, some of these people who say, if you're in the wilderness, you've got to have an axe, you've got to have a saw. I'll tell you what, if you want to do that, you do it. If you want to just take a knife, that's fine, okay? People who bitch like that, oh, they're just doing what you're doing. Anyway, I don't want to rant. I'm just pointing out, I'm so glad that I ordered one of these and it came through. And I'll say the cheapest place I can find it was out for Bushcraft UK. Awesome. I'll put the link in underneath, and mate, this got a thumbs up from me. I can see myself using this a hell of a lot. Awesome. Right, that stew I think is done now. I'm not even going to bother seeing what it's like. Just know it was good. Yeah, baby. And it's cool because the handle's not hot. You can touch it, okay? So we're going to be using the spork made by Moleskin Joe. Oh wow, looks fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. So, as promised, touch of the Old Bay. Yeah, bags of flavour we do like. It's smashed up a little bit. I think it's mainly the potatoes, but that's good actually because that's created a starch and made it nice and thick. But check that. Chicken, the carrots, oh baby, we're all good. It's one of the best things about stews, you can just throw it all in there, stick it on the fire and leave it. Really nice. Oh yeah, it seriously is lovely stuff. Oh, and it stays hot in that pot for quite a while as well. Lovely jubbly. Well, I'll tell you this much, this workshop really is top drawer. And I'm not just saying that, this isn't QVC. When I find a piece of kit that really does live up to what it's supposed to do, man, I'm all over it. I don't mind letting anyone know. That really is a quality bit of kit. And do you know what? I wish I found this ages ago. I don't know, look, I've got no idea how long these have been out in the market for. I'm going to try and find some links I'm going to put underneath because I'm that impressed with it. Whether these are available worldwide, I don't know. I know they're available USA and UK, but you know, we've got subscribers all over the world, so we're going to see if we can find some information about this because that really did work like a charm. And you know, I've got a Lansky sharpener. I mean, can you imagine taking a Lansky out in the field? The size of it, you know, and the rigmarole of setting the jigs up. This, with the angles on there, mate, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, I'm going to find some links from somewhere, and I'm going to chuck them underneath, okay? Because that really is worth sharing. That's a top bit of kit. Right, we're just squaring away now. All the admin's done. Just waiting for the. I've spread all the embers. They're cooling down now. Whilst I'm packing everything away, I'm just going to go down to the river, get some water, and put all that out. Make sure it's properly done, and then cover it all up as per. We probably can't see that, but the fire area is all doused now. Okay. Now we're just going to stay behind for a little while, just to make sure it's properly gone out. Okay. Well, the light is fading fast, as it always does in the woods. You probably can't see it, but it is all clear now. It's cold to the touch, so I can pick it all up, which is the key actually. Oh yeah, owls are coming out, wicked. So yeah, it's definitely leave no trace. We're going to leave the frame we'll see if we get time over winter to play around doing some more videos with the A-frame, because it is a good base for a multi-purpose shelter. Okay, so let's head on out. Well, I don't know if you can see me because we are losing the light quite rapid now, and I thought I'd say goodbye now because I can see on the screen there that it's hard for you guys to see. It's fine for me, it's great in here, but cameras don't do it justice. You have to live it, okay? From a personal note, I thought I'd done quite well considering, you know, really feeling like crap to be honest, and off camera having a few coughing fits. But it just goes to show, you know, if you push yourself, you can you can do all sorts. So yeah, I think I'll get home now and have a nice scotch and a chillax. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay funky.